everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's Mes Favoris, my favorite things. And today I have an amazing guest. I love food and I love the way that she prepares it, but I'm going to let her introduce herself and then we're going to have a conversation. Agnes, karibu.
Asante sana. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming and responding to the invite. Please introduce yourself to my guests and then we'll have a conversation.
Great. So my name is Agnes Mwangi. I run a catering firm called Port's Delight. I love all things food. I love to cater. I enjoy eating good food. And I enjoy giving the service to my customers. Our happiest moment is when our customers are happy. After service, yes.
Yeah, and I really pray they all get to use to choose your services and your facilities because we'll give the contacts. But for me, I love good food. I love good food. I love excellence. Really, really serious. Food.
You're a foodie.
I'm a foodie, and the food has to be perfect. The presentation has to be perfect. I know good food when I eat it, and this is why you're here, because your food is amazing.
Great, thank you.
And I remember, because I was looking for you for my daughter's wedding. For some reason, I just felt, I call you Ports and Delights. So I was like, where am I going to find Agnes or Ports and Delights? And I looked through my phone, and I couldn't find your number. But then I'm telling you, God is amazing. So I came to check a venue with her.
Yes.
And I came across the catering, and I loved the multiple serving stations. There were like 5.
Yes.
I was like, wow. And I think it was a spit.
Yes, so barbecue grills.
Yes. And so I just said, So I asked them, so can I please have a contact, a business card? And there you are, and I had found you. And I was so excited for finding you, Agnes.
Great. Yes.
But take me on a journey of food, because I'm a hotelier. I've done hospitality and food. I told you I fear food. Food business.
Yes, you do.
I fear food business. They robbed me when I was standing there.
Uh-huh.
They robbed me blind. So this is why I have a healthy respect. I was like, you said you've been doing this for almost 20 years, but maybe take us through your journey of food. Why did you start food? How come you stuck to it? The consistency, the excellence, and you've made it a brand and it's profitable just floors my mind. That's why you're here.
So thank you. So great. So I also love food. And by the way, I've trained in something totally different.
Really?
I took a course in environmental studies.
Honestly, people are crazy. Environmental studies?
Yes. I worked in some NGO for about 10 years.
In environmental studies?
Yes. Doing projects all over the place.
I can't see you doing that.
Kakamega and other places. And one day, sort of like, I woke up and I thought I wasn't offering the best of myself. And I thought it was about time to make a move.
Okay.
So somehow, I sincerely cannot explain how I landed in food. But somehow, since I already always enjoyed good food, I thought I could try my hand at it.
Okay.
So interestingly, I just took an annual leave and went home to try and cook.
Really?
I started catering in an SQ at the back of my house in South Sea. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So obviously now, before I got into the catering work, you know how you work, you're in a system and you're like, I'm getting tired of this. So there was a bit of that also. So I decided to start cooking.
Okay.
So one day I wrote some letters to a couple of organizations. And there was one organization on Mombasa Road that needed some foods in the evening. That time actually I hadn't got working.
So you're just on leave?
Yeah,
or you're still now, you've gone back to work?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So they needed meals in the evenings, in the night. So I'd work in the day and then cook for them
in the night.
In the evening. Of course I had a team working from the SQ, making the meals, and then I'll deliver the meals in the evening for their night shift.
Okay.
Yes. It was very basic meals though,
but
it worked.
It worked.
So then the checks started rolling in.
The money started rolling in.
And at that time, because I had a salary,
yes,
the money looked like it was too much. And
it was good.
It was good.
It was multiple streams of income.
Exactly. But because I was able to put in my salary into the meals, the checks that came in from the company at the end of the month, looked like it was too much, and I was like, oh, there's money here. So the next thing I told myself I could quit working and get full-time
into this.
Yeah. Of course, there's always the fear in somebody of what's going to happen.
Yeah, what if it doesn't work?
Exactly. So I didn't quit.
I like you. You didn't quit. You said, I'm still going to do this.
I took my annual leave.
Okay.
For a month.
Let's try this for a month.
Let's try this. Meanwhile, I found some food court space in Westlands.
Oh.
So I quit. I fitted it out. A very small space that had a capacity of about 200 meals in a day.
That is 200. That's what you're calling small, Agnes. I know it's because you do big events in terms of the space. Would people come in and sit down and eat the meals?
Food court. So the sitting was communal.
Was communal.
Exactly. But the production section was really
and the capacity was 200 people.
Exactly.
But I like that because this is movement. Because one of the things we're trying to do is inspire and encourage people. Yes. So now you've moved from the SQ. You're in the food court. We're moving.
Yes, we are moving. And before we moved from the food court, we didn't move fully from the
SQ.
Yes, because now the capacity at the food court wouldn't have done events.
Okay. Yes. So the SQ continues to serve the events, and now this is a different.
Exactly. Yes. So I moved. I took about a month to outfit a place because you get an empty space and you have to do the wall sections and paintwork and all. And after the first month, and of course utilized my leave days.
Okay.
So I extended my leave with unpaid leave days.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I took extra days, and I always say I was very lucky.
You're blessed and lucky because many people maybe they'll be told you can't take the unpaid leave.
Yes. So things seemed to be working really well. And the sales were okay. We were able to sustain the system.
Okay.
So after the unpaid leave, I just told my boss, you know what, I'm not coming back. And I continued catering.
Wow.
So at the food court, I stayed there for about 18 years. 18 years.
Gosh, Agnes, you're very consistent. 18?
Yes, at that particular food court. But meanwhile, I set up outside catering kitchens. Okay. So the food court, obviously, we couldn't have done the 200 meals in another 500 at the same time.
So now you went and got another kitchen because now you're doing events.
Yes.
So is that how you started doing events?
That's
corporate events, weddings?
Yes. Because we needed extra space. Like, for example, the food court was on the mezzanine 2 of a building. There was no way you're going to bring in barbecue jikos and stuff.
And big sufurias.
Exactly. At the top, somewhere not on the ground floor. So we had to use 2 spaces to do the caterings. Yes. So we continued, and one of the things I can say is at any one time, I always thought of what more can we do? Because of course, when you're in business, money is coming in, and you're utilizing the money, but money is never enough.
Okay.
So you're thinking, how do I make more? And that thinking, challenging yourself, how do I make more, is what then will push you to expanding your spaces or your options. Meanwhile, also, we started doing contract catering.
Okay.
Clients would come in to the food courts and enjoy the meal.
Yes, your food
and
is
like,
good.
Okay, can you guys come and do catering services
at our organization?
At our organizations. So that also gave us a very good boost because, again, at the end of the day, the more the numbers, obviously, your bottom line in terms of financial balances made sense.
I know there are other people who struggled with kitchens. I know we don't know all your state secrets, but how do you keep profitability? Because with you, the quality of the food is amazing. When we, at the wedding, people were saying, and you did several of the functions, but every time there are people who have very sensitive digestive systems. But all of them gave a glowing report like this food is really good. So how do you keep the consistency and the profitability?
So say, for example, profitability is one thing, And there's a way I like to address this question.
Okay.
A lot of caterers or people in the business will look at, first of all, their profit
Before
the
the
service.
and the consistency.
Before the product.
Yes, before the product. That is
Exactly.
true.
Yes.
We want money first.
Yes.
Before delivering a proper product.
And that's one of the reasons why people fail.
Yes.
So if you look at, I want to deliver a better, I want to deliver a better product. I want my client to be happy. I want, at the end of the day, this client or this job to give me other referrals.
Yes.
Then you will not over-focus on the profitability.
You focus on delivering a beautiful product.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
So that's an approach that we've used.
That's amazing. It has worked, I can tell you.
Thank you. Most of the work, the business comes back from referrals. Definitely. Yes.
Definitely. One of the comments that I loved at Althea and Matu's wedding was in the queues. You know, I love Kenyans. They express themselves freely. Yeah. So somebody was like, where was this caterer when we needed them? We shall not say where, but there was an event which was very chaotic. Because you see, also it's the lines. Remember when we were sitting with you, and because I'm a hotelier as well, I understand. So when I came to the initial meetings, when you say for every 100 people, you have a line.
Yes.
You see now somebody's going to try to cut down on the line
and
cause more chaos. There are already 500 people, let's say here.
Yes.
We cannot serve them with 2 serving stations. We have to do 5 serving stations or even six so that everything is there.
Exactly.
And that was what I loved. I loved also the efficiency of serving the people. Every station was the same. People really, they were raving and talking about your food in a way that was like, wow, this is amazing. You have achieved and accomplished something very great.
Thank you.
So I love that. That it's the final product. It has to be consistent, it has to be excellent before I think of the bottom line.
Exactly. Yeah. So which means then you're always intentionally wanting to improve between the product, the service, the equipment, everything else. So at the end of the day, whatever you make, you're pouring back so that you can make the customer happy.
Yeah, so you can become bigger, better, and be able to serve. And then have you had problems of turnover? Because also hospitality is one of the industries with the highest staff turnover. How do you keep them happy? What kind of systems? Like I said, without giving everything away, have you put in place that people are cooking consistent food at all times?
Yeah, so one of the things I do, and one of the things I do to keep my staff motivated is appreciate them on the side over and above their usual thing, like for every event.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so you keep your staff motivated and happy, because basically at the end of the day, they are the guys doing the
They are.
I'm not the one holding the 20 kgs of urea of pilau.
They are.
It is them. So if you keep your staff happy and motivated and you treat the staff with respect, treat the staff with love, I think then, and you show them the way, by the way. You keep your standards. One of the things I know is in training school for, not that I've been to any, but hearsay, in training schools for food production, there's a lot of teaching of shortcuts.
There is.
Yes.
There's a lot, that's what I can tell you.
Teaching of shortcuts.
A lot of shortcuts. There's some things I can say here, even hotels.
Yes.
They will just be sure you don't go and eat there.
Thank you.
If I tell you what you have been doing, like for an example, for a whole year there was one soup. You know when the pot you started. Can you imagine that soup 1 year?
Yes.
Consistently, it has never. We are just adding to that pot.
Exactly.
Those are some of the shortcuts. I know them.
Yeah. So me as a business owner, for example, I want to put out something that I can proudly sit there and eat and say I am proud of this product.
Wow,
so if the staff members want from their training, and you can't blame them for that, you don't take shortcuts. You're there to have the stopgaps. We are not going to go that direction. Don't tell me tomato paste is expensive. Don't tell me mushroom is expensive, that we can't have mushroom on the meal.
We're going to have it.
We are going to have it, because at the end of the day, the client is going to be happy. And I am happy, and you're happy, and we get our next job.
Yeah, so we don't compromise on the quality. And it's amazing you said no, because John Maxwell defines leadership as knowing the way or knowing what to do, showing, and then showing the way, and no, is it knowing the way, going the way, and then showing the way? So that's what leadership is about, that you know what to do, then you do it, but then you show others how to do it. So that's very powerful as well, that you're showing them also, we are not going to cut shortcuts here. This is, and also, and then I'm sure then they watch and see the benefits of not cutting those shortcuts, because business is still coming, we're still busy, we're getting paid, we're able to do all the things that we need to do with our salaries. I think that's amazing, and we're getting something, an appreciation and a token on the side. But it is really amazing. And even as I watched them, when I stumbled on you at that event, they really work professionally. There's no shouting all up and down. They're dressed professionally, they're professional. So I think even then they want to be associated. Maybe that's why it says brand association. They want to be associated with the brand. And so they present it very, 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 very well. And I really, really love that about that. Wow, wow, wow. Hey, Agnes, you have done well. You have done well. Me, I think I would have tried. No, you've done well. You really have done well. You've done well for me in terms of consistently delivering a product. I was dreaming of the food. You know how you eat, but you know when you have an event, you can't eat very well. And so I didn't eat. But I remember the next day having grandiose visions of the food, and I was like, why did I pack that food? And like you said, I called you. I was like, Agnes, where is my food? I need food now. You must bring me the mukino. You must bring for me. But I really love that. I mean, that's how impacted I was by the food that I was even thinking about it the next day. And that is powerful. But we wanted to ask you a question. Somebody raised the question here, which I think is a good question, because you see, when you say you were in a food court for 18 years, you've been in business for like now maybe 21 years, 22 years, 22 years, you've been consistent. There's somebody who has done 5 businesses. They've stopped, failed, stopped, started, succeeded, I don't know, 5 things. And that, we see, what I love about leadership is consistency.
Sure.
And people who are successful, first of all, you're self-taught.
Yes.
That is just even a phenomenon by itself. But so we're asking, so you're self-taught, how do you keep this fire burning? But also, how do you keep yourself relevant? Because I'm telling you, somebody who started a business 20 years ago, they're not relevant anymore. How have you kept yourself relevant?
So one of the things I tell myself is to always seek growth. Seek growth, seek new information. Luckily nowadays we are very privileged because there's so much information out there.
Information overflow.
Exactly. In fact, you don't even have time to go through everything.
Yes.
Yeah. So at any one time, whenever during our growth, if I found something challenging, then I'll challenge myself to figure out how to do it better the next time. So if, for example, when we started, we didn't used to grill chicken, for example. We used to deep fry a lot of chicken. Because it was easy to deep fry the chicken. Then anytime somebody came and said, can we have the chicken barbecue instead? I'd be like, how do we do this? And a lot of people, even today, will first pre-boil the chicken and put it on the grill to finish it, so that you have that effect of the
grill.
The grill, yes.
But it's not really grilled because it doesn't even enter that grill.
Exactly.
Shortcuts.
Or you or you try and put it in the oven, but how big is your oven?
You can't
Not
accommodate
like
all
the way
that.
you roast chicken in the oven. So one of those challenges, like how I kept on asking myself, how do I do this better? And we bought initially so many jikos from your Juakari guys on Bong Road. But the way they've done the jikos, you put the chicken there and it's charred, too charred to even serve. And I think that's why even today people will pre-boil the chicken first and have it on that. So I asked myself, how better can I do this chicken business and deliver to the client? And I could not get grills in this country that would deal or give me a solution to that problem. So I looked online and I searched, and then I came across this company in the US that manufactures grills to deal with chickens.
Really?
That's how I started now importing
grills.
The grills, yes.
Wow.
Just to deal with that challenge.
Yeah. Because I want to sell
a
good quality chicken.
Yes.
And what I have here, the equipment is not working.
It is not working because one of the things is the distance between where you put the coal and where you put the chicken has to be a certain specific height.
Wow. So some US engineering has solved that.
Exactly. Yeah. So then I thought, okay, then if this is a solution, I'll bring in that equipment.
Yes.
And
And
that
we've
was a
seen
game
it.
changer.
That was a game changer.
That was a game changer.
Amen.
Tell us here to grill quarter chicken, 1,000 pieces
We're gonna do it.
in one run. We're gonna
Hallelujah.
run with that. So we're not gonna first boil it and try
and finish it.
Yeah. So basically, going back to the point is any challenges that we encounter on a daily basis anyway in business. When you seek solutions, you're not seeking solutions within a limited area, and there's so much information out there. So when you seek solutions and solutions are out there, utilize them. Yeah,
I love
challenge
it.
yourself.
I love it.
How are you improving yourself for tomorrow?
Yeah.
If today you did a certain where you made a certain meal and it didn't come out well,
How can you make it better?
That? If you use a certain cut of beef and it was tough,
how do you get another cut of beef that's not going to be tough?
Yes.
And it's amazing because that's it. So what you're doing is you're being a solution provider, and then it's making the client happy, and it's making you happy. Both of you are winning. Because the business, it's a win-win situation for both of you. And then also what I hear you saying is don't get stuck. Like you can't stay, okay, also not just get stuck, but say there's no other way to do it. We have to boil the chicken, then halfway this way. You went further. It's like going beyond the ask.
Yes.
And saying how I want to perfect this.
Yes.
And then it costs you. But the cost, it has repaid itself because I see everyone ordering those grills, and then the meat is good, the finish is good, the product is good. So as you start, it may be expensive, but it will pay itself off. It's an investment that will return money on it, but you pleased also the client.
Exactly.
That's very powerful.
And another thing that people make a mistake on is imagining that when you make your money today, it is your money. It's business money. Put it back. Put as much back as possible
to keep improving the business.
Exactly. So like a lot of people will shy away from why would I go and
import
expensive
from the US?
Exactly. This is my profit. I've made the profit, and you want to do other things.
But it will make more profit.
Exactly.
We are moving ahead.
Yeah, people don't think about that.
So it's sort of a lack of foresight, and also the shortcut. And I'm feeling so many things, but also just forcing us to stay this way. Like this is what we have done. There's no other. We've tried in this country. There's no grill. So hiyo story imeishia hapo. Instead of what else can we do? Expand the horizons. Go and do your research on social media. What can you do? And I think business is risk. Sometimes I feel like I'm risk averse in some things, but I think business is risk.
It is.
It's taking a risk that I can import the equipment, try and see what will happen. And of course, we know it's a success story. I'm telling you, if you have not eaten Agnes's food, you have no idea what you're missing. And I've not been paid to say that. I love the food, I love the organization, I love the consistency. I love that even people with sensitive digestive systems said, this food was a perfect fit for me. I had no issues, and I loved it. And even maybe I don't know what else you want to add, but even the mason jars for the fruit salad, they were such a hit. I was like, wow, such creativity. So I even just loved the experience of you catering at the different functions. So for me, it's a sign of encouragement. I mean, just keep doing what I had to bring you here. I said I have to bring you. You said I like sharing things with you, just Angie family. You should just pay me money. I love sharing stuff with you because that's what encourages me. You know, my favorite things is why is this thing my favorite thing, and giving people access and just allowing, because you see with you as well, the headache of food was gone.
Yes.
There was peace. You know how food can give you a headache when you have events?
True.
We came, we sat, we talked, we knew we are covered.
Yes.
And everybody, in that story, now it became your burden. You bring the food. But it was amazing. Then you delivered the first batch, you delivered the next one, like, wow. Yeah. So I think for me, that's the thing. How much peace do I want?
Yes.
And peace is important. I loved also your prices were reasonable, the different packages that you could have, the different choices as well, was good for me.
Yeah, like we did 2 different options for the home event and for the wedding.
And another thing is, as you come to your party shot, I love that when you came for one of the events, I don't know whether we told you that, but you made a suggestion, which I love, because you see now, I think your experience in corporates and events and weddings, you actually came deciding what kind of tent to have. And it was your amazing suggestion, at the site visit. And you said, let's have this other kind of tent, because at the wedding we're going to have this other one. And it was Perfect.
It was beautiful.
It was so
very
beautiful.
well.
So we have to give you credit for that
Thank
as well.
you.
So I guess in your interaction and the site visits, that's why site visits are important.
Yeah.
Because you get to learn from each other. Then you knew the people in the industry as well. You guys know all of you. You know each other. You know what happens here, what doesn't happen here, what happens at this venue, what doesn't happen at this venue. So I was very encouraged. But it just made our lives easier, and you really did a really great job, Agnes.
Thank you.
Your food is absolutely exceptional. Your service, your consistency, it is out of this world. And may you continue growing and getting more and more successful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And what encouragement to somebody out there? Be self-taught.
Self-taught, yeah. Always seek growth, because in the process of seeking growth, chances of you falling or failing are fewer than if you're just here and then it gets boring and you go down. So if you seek growth and think about the client before yourself.
Yeah.
I always say that in the sense that, for example, if I'm making 100,000 today, I can put in a 10,000 to throw in cream and mushrooms into a meal that will transform that meal into something totally different. Yeah, so what have I done? Basically, you as a client, you don't even know there's no discussion of cheese or cream or mushroom in your meal, but I've thrown it in, I've forgone my a certain percentage of my profit to make you happy. Yeah. Also, in regards to the quantities, don't be so harsh on your.
There was so much food.
People run out of meals because, again, what are you doing? You're using your formula to the dot.
To the dot.
And slicing off a bit of that. So when you put the client first, actually,
everything else
makes
works.
All the difference.
And you see, with you, as we close, you're eating. So already at the event, we shared your number 15 times, and it was a 20 years. Of course.
Yeah,
so
have called me
because they came and experienced the product. They came, they experienced the product, they saw, they said, "Bas me." And the thing is, sometimes we get into problems because we want to be kemenyi.com. You want to be the one. You don't know about food. Give it to the expert.
Give it to the expert.
Move away. Just give it to the expert. Walk away, and it just makes your life easier. Yes. And it gives everybody will have a great experience rather than trying to experiment. I always say sometimes cheap costs. God forbid people become sick. There's no point. That is too much of a headache. Just let the experts do what they're doing. And I really love that. And because you experience the product, people say, "Please, who was the caterer? Please, can you give me their number?" And the business continues growing. And that extra 10,000 keeps growing.
Keeps growing. Yeah, very true. Actually, I'm doing a job in May.
Yes.
In Kericho.
Wow. As a result.
Someone who was at your daughter's wedding.
Amen. We're so grateful, Agnes. But thank you also for being you. Because also sometimes when you recommend somebody, you have to know who you are recommending, because they can show you disaster. So at least us, we're confident about recommending you. So just Angie family, I have introduced you to Agnes. I always call her Pots and Delights, but it's Agnes Pots Delights. Please follow her. We'll put her social media handles and all that. And I can assure you, I promise you, that if you use her company to provide food for you, I promise you, you will never be disappointed. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here.
You're very, very welcome. God bless you. Bye.